Hey guys, it's Allison, and today I'm going to be doing my Teen Wolf 5B season review. So I just finished season 5B today. I basically binged. I've never binged a show before. I just never had the time, and now it's summer, and I'm like, I'm going to relax and just binge Teen Wolf. So I started binging Teen Wolf last week, and I watched the first 6 episodes in a day. It was bad. I felt very unproductive, but it was great to catch up. And then I binged the rest of them over this week. And so I finally finished it today, and I just want to talk about it. So basically, my just overall impression was I was very impressed by Teen Wolf Season 5B. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I felt the writing was spot on. I felt the acting was great. I loved all the twists and turns and just how you never know what was going to come. It was very unpredictable, which I really enjoy. That's probably why I love The 100 so much as well, because The 100 and Teen Wolf are just both different shows, but they're very unpredictable shows, which I love. So yeah, I thought it was really great. So let's start off with the Dread Doctors. So the Dread Doctors they're just interesting villains. I want to know more about them. I want to know, like how you become a Dread Doctor. Like I know we talked about, putting on the mask and it can basically kill you, but I want to know more about like how are you supposed to kill a Dread Doctor? Like how are you going to, like who are the Dread Doctors? I know at the very end of the season finale, episode 10, we got to see, a Dread Doctor without the mask on. He was bleeding out, dying, because I forget this guy's name, but I think it's this evil guy who was basically impersonating the Beast and was inside of Mason. He was asking the Dread Doctor, a question and about the Argents, and so we got to the Dread Doctor there, but I just want to know more about them. So I just want to know more about them. I thought it was great how we got to know more about Theo's pack and all the different powers that they have, whether it was like electricity or Kenema Venom or invisibility. I like to know more about them as their powers and as characters. I thought it was just really interesting with that. And I want to talk about Theo for a little bit. So Theo is like that weasel or mosquito that will not go away. No matter how many times you kill the weasel or the mosquito, they always come back to bite you. I want to know more about Theo's character. I really hate Theo. He's like that villain that like you just love to hate. Like it doesn't matter what they do, you just love to hate them. And so whenever Theo was like talking to Scott, he's like, "Oh, we're on the same side. Let's like work together." I'm like, "No, you are crazy. You watched your own sister drown. You like literally killed off your pack to get their powers," which I kind of saw coming, but kind of not. It was so surprising that he killed up everybody. And he's just crazy. And like it doesn't matter like what you do to Theo. Like you break his neck. You, push him down in the fight, like, he comes back. He's a very resilient character. But I really love Cody Christian, who plays Theo. I feel like he does an amazing job with playing the villain character of the show. And, yeah, I'm just interested, because last we saw Theo, Deucalion broke his neck, and then Kira came back and basically brought the Skinwalker's staff, and his sister came back to life. So last we saw Theo, he was being dragged down underneath the kennel by his sister. So yeah, I'm interested to see what he's going to be like next season, what's going to happen with Theo. What is he going to do? Because now he has no pack. He's basically an Omega. But he wants to take everyone's power. So like, what's going to happen with him? I'm really curious. So yeah, I really liked Theo's character. Probably one of the most shocking moments is whenever Papa Argent went to go get his father, and I was like, "No, your father is crazy. We've already established this in season 3 and season 2. Allison's grandfather is crazy. Like, Scott did the Mountain Ash thing for a reason. Like, why are you resurrecting your father? Like, what is going on through your head, Papa Argent? Like, I'm really curious what's going to happen." And so I obviously hate Allison's grandfather. Like, he's nuts. I just want to, he reminds me of someone who basically he will how do I say this? He will basically go to any means necessary to get what he wants. And so I thought it was really smart of Papa Argent at the end of the season basically turned on the grandfather, turned on his dad and was like, hey, like, I know that you want these people's powers. Like, you don't just want to help them. You want their powers. You want to kill them. And so that was really smart because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you trusting, like, your crazy grandfather? You know he's crazy. Like, what are you doing? So I'm really glad I was rectified. Yeah, it was just, man, that was really cool. I'm really glad that Papa Argent also just has a big part. I wish he had a bigger part. I'm glad he's still in the show. I feel like he's kind of the last, the last family member that Allison has that's not totally loony and crazy. And so I just think it's great he's still included in the show. One of the also things I love about this show is that the storylines are just so great and so believable and so relatable. You know, it's about growing up and dealing with a illness in your family, you know, dealing with, you know, your friends leaving, all going off to different places. You're dealing with hospital bills. You don't have the money. Like, even though it's set in a supernatural world, they deal with very real issues, which I applaud them for. I feel like they're very well done. I just feel like that's important to have because that's real. Like, people struggle with paying their bills. People struggle when their loved one is in the hospital and they feel helpless and they can't do anything about it. People struggle with, you know, what am I going to do after high school? I sure did. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do after high school. Like, I had no clue. I knew I was going to go to college, but I didn't know what I was going to major in. Like, how was I going to make new friends? Like, and so I feel like that's very relatable. With those issues that they tackle. And also what Teen Wolf does very well is they definitely bring on the emotions. Like, the feels are flowing, and it doesn't matter who it is. Like, it could be Liam and Hayden, like, ship them. It could be Stiles and his dad. Holy crud. In the season premiere, when Stiles is with his dad, and he's, like, yelling at Scott, and he's like, my dad is dying, and you were not there to save him. And his dad is dying, and then they flash back to Stiles and his dad and his mom's funeral, and I was like, I can't. Like, it's too emotional right now. And, yeah, it was just crazy emotional, you guys. Yeah, it was, man, I love them. I really hope they never kill off the sheriff because I love Stiles and his dad. They are just have such an awesome bond, awesome relationship, and I never want that to go away. Yeah, I never want that to go away. I also thought, thing I also really loved was whenever, you know, his dad talks to Stiles and he was like, hey, you know, I know what self-defense is. When we flash back to the whole Donovan thing. So season 5A, that was probably the big qualm was Stiles basically killed Donovan out of self-defense. And Stiles kept that a secret, and Theo basically lied to everybody, so that Stiles viciously murdered Donovan, which was obviously a lie. But of course, Stiles just felt so guilt-ridden inside, like he didn't want to tell people what really happened. Like, that just brings it all up again. And so I just thought it was a really great moment how his dad was like, I know what self-defense is, and I love you, and I don't think you are a lesser person for going through this. You know, you were going to get killed, and he was going to kill you, and you had to do what you had to do. Self-defense. I also thought it was really great how Scott just accepted Stiles. I mean, I knew he was going to, but I just feel like I'm glad they had that moment together. I just feel like Scott and Stiles have such an incredible relationship, incredible friendship on the show. I'm just glad they were able to make amends and become friends, just strengthen their friendship even more, and just how they were there for each other. And, you know, Scott's like, why didn't you think that you could tell me? And Stiles is like, well, I didn't want to break the cardinal rule of killing anybody, and I felt like I wasn't worthy. And I'm like, it's real, because sometimes when you're in a friend group and you are struggling with an issue, whether it's, you know, dealing with the loss of a loved one, or dealing with mental illness, or dealing with family issues, or, you know, like an eating disorder, or like just stuff from your past, like you don't want to be judged. You want your friends to be supportive. So I thought it was really great how Scott was supportive of Stiles, and I loved how he was able to bring the pack back together. Basically, 5A was tearing the pack apart, and 5B was putting them back together, which I felt like was really interesting how they all came back together, whether it was Malia, Liam, Hayden, Stiles, Kira. I loved how they all came back together and fought and were part of Scott's pack. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So I also, the other storyline that I really want to know more about is Kira and the Skinwalkers. I want to know more about them. I want to know, like, So we know Kira, like, kisses Scott goodbye, and then she goes off with the Skinwalkers. I'm just sad that they wrote Kira off the show. I just feel like there's so many infinite possibilities you can do with that character, with her being a kitsune with the Japanese heritage. Like, it's just such a shame that they wrote her off the show. And I'm like, first of all, like, she had such an interesting storyline. Like, shame on you, writers. Like, I just feel like you could have continued that storyline, and I'm really sad not to have Arden on the show anymore. I just loved her character, that she was funny and relatable. Like, I'm a huge dork. Like, I am not the smoothest around guys. Like, you know, like, it's hard for me to fit in sometimes, because you don't want to be the awkward person. I'm an awkward person like Kira. I related to Kira, and I was just sad they wrote her off the show. But, like, there was just so many things you could do with her character, so much potential you had, and it was sad. But I'm glad we got to learn more about her kitsune, more about her powers, and about the Skinwalkers, and about her relationship with Scott. I thought it was really sweet. And, yeah, I mean, at first, when they first introduced Kira, it was right after Allison died. And I was like, nope. Like, I cannot ship them, like, cannot. Obviously, Skallison will be doing my all-time ultimate OTPs, along with Stydia and Villark, but Kira grew on me, and I was glad that she was able to reunite with Scott. I thought that was really great. I also just thought the finale was just great. So many twists and turns. The big reveal of the Beast being Mason was just wow. Like, I was like, it could be this person, and like, I didn't even think about Mason. Thought that was really cool. I really like Mason. I like him and Corey's, relationship and their friendship, his relationship with Liam and the whole pack. I think it's great. I really want to know more about Mason and about his abilities and whether it's going to have any effects from the Beast. I just want to know more about him. I think he's hilarious and sweet, and I really hope they talk more about him. I really like him and Corey's relationship. I think it's nice and sweet, and I just want to know more about it. I know it's being developed, but I want to know more about them as individuals, but also as a team. So another thing I want to talk about is Liam and Hayden. So I was crushed, like so crushed when Hayden died in season 5A. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I need her to be alive. Like, I love her. She is so quirky and, like, badass and just hilarious and snarky. Like, I need her to be alive. Like, please. Like, my shipper heart, like, it's just, I cannot handle these emotions. And so, I'm really glad that she was brought back to life, and, she basically was with Liam. Like, she was like, I'm here for you. I'm leaving Theo's pack, even though he saved my life. I don't care. I don't trust Liam. I don't trust Theo, I trust you, Liam. I'm part of Scott's pack, and Scott's gonna save everybody. Well, that was just really great how they were able to work together. I just thought it was a really cool moment. Really sweet how they, like, kissed. It was so nice. I cannot wait. I really want to know more about the relationship, and I want to see them together. I want to see them go on more adventures with Scott and in the pack, but also on themselves as well. So yeah. Obviously, my favorite episodes was when they went to rescue Lydia from Eichen House. Stydia is literally been my ship since season 1, since I was 18 years old. That was 6 years ago. Along with Skallison, like, those are my OTPs. And I just love their friendship. I love their relationship, how they're there for each other. They support one another. And, man, so many feels when the song, like, Do We Bleed the Same came on, and Stiles was visiting Lydia in the hospital. Like, it was just like, oh my gosh, these are real emotions. And he's, like, talking to her, like, we can't do this without you. Like, please wake up. Man, if they're not Endgame, like, I don't know what I'm going to do, you guys. Like, they have to be Endgame. Please tell me I'm not the only one thinking this. They have to be Endgame. So I was they just have such a sweet relationship, and how he, like, rescued her, and, he was like, she was talking to her mom, and Lydia was like, Stiles saved me, Stiles saved my life. And it was just sweet how, like, whenever she was getting that shot of cortisone on the last episode, that, not Allison's mom, Scott's mom was like, you need to hold her hand, and, like, Stiles was like, I'm about to throw up, I'm about to pass out, and he was like, no, you need to hold her hand. And it was just so nice how they, like, held hands, and he, like, walked with her, and it just was great. I'm glad I got to know more about Lydia's abilities as a Banshee. I thought that was really great to learn more about that, and just to dive deeper into the Banshee mythology. I'm glad Meredith made an appearance, and we were able to see her interact with Lydia. They both have the Banshee ability in common. Yeah, it just was so sweet. And whenever, like, They just were able to get out of Icon House successfully, which is just awesome. I'm really glad Brayden was in there and the whole Malia storyline with her mom. I'm not the biggest Malia fan, but she's definitely grown on me, and I liked her more in this season than in past seasons. I just want to know more about her character and how she deals with, the whole desert wolf thing, and I'm really interested in that. And is her mom really dead? We don't know. So I know we're going to get a trailer for season 6 at San Diego Comic-Con, which is July. I think it's like the third week in July. And so I cannot wait for all the interviews, the panel, the trailer. It's going to be so great, you guys. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.